if you want to do IVF and you are thinking of what you could do to improve the chances of getting pregnant, get the positive results. One of the things I used to explain to women is you need to take fertility supplements. What do you need to do? You need to make sure that from the start of that program to the end of that program, at least to the point they want to transfer embryo, be on medication. There are some medication they will give you for IVF procedure. But you yourself, you can still buy fertility supplement and take. Apart from that, some of you will fail to take recommendations from your professionals. Some we will suggest to you, but some of you will not take that suggestion. If you are asking me, what are the things you need to do to ensure that you get the 50% or the success side of IVF? One, ensure that from the beginning of that process to the time they transfer the embryo, you take fertility supplements. Whether you are doing a recipient cycle, maybe you are using your own egg, or you are taking donor cycle, whether you are using donor egg, you must be on fertility supplements. For some of us that we are not menstruating again before we go start IVF, you can tell professional, let them do your LH and FSH, prolactin and progesterone. If your LH and FSH is very high, above 20, there are some medication they can place you, whereby when they place you on that medication, each time you are menstruating, when you're on that medication, the LH and FSH start coming down. The best result for LH and FSH when you want to do IVF is less than 20 milli international unit per liter. When your FSH and LH is very high and you do not do anything to it and you go ahead and go and do IVF, what does that mean? Your ovary has failed. Even when they are giving you anything to improve your chances of getting pregnant, your body will not be able to coordinate very well because your ovaries has failed. That is number one. Number two, if you are using your own egg and your LH and FSH is very high, but your AMH is between 1 and 3.5, it means you preserve your egg, but the quality of that egg will be very low. So what do you need to do? You need to take some supplement that can improve the quality of your egg. Number three, if you are using your egg, but your LH and FSH is very normal, between 4 and 10 milli international unit per liter, but your AMH is very low. What does that mean? It means you do not have a good ovarian reserve for that procedure. Every woman wants to use their egg to carry their baby, but you get to some point, you realize that the request, the mandate, the wish to use your egg to carry your pregnancy is already late. The request is late due to your age. So which means at that point in time, you need to listen to recommendation of the professional that is handling your issues. Recommendation is, if your AMH is very low, but your FSH and LH is very normal, there is tendency that you may not have enough eggs for that procedure. So two options. Either you agree that whatever egg you have, when they give you ovarian stimulation, that what you are going to face to create embryo, or you had a donor backup to that procedure. Number 3, am I right? Number 3, if your age is above 37, please don't let anybody gaslighting you on social media. I've said it so many times, I'm still going to repeat it. Anything from 35 years of age, the ability, the quality of health in any woman will start going down. From one woman to the other, the rate at which this egg will go, the quality of the egg will go down, depends on the quality of life and the standard of living of each of every woman. So, to me, at 35 years of age, you can see comfortably if you have LH and FSH between 4 and 10 milli international unit per liter, and your AMH is between 1 to 3.5. But anything from 36 is 50-50. If you have a good ovarian reserve at anything from age 37 and above, in my own opinion, if you want to use your egg, be very careful to have the second option by adding donor backup to that procedure. Because when a woman has good ovarian reserve, good LH and FSH at age 37 and above, I'm telling you what I know, and what I'm saying inside this video is my own opinion. Anybody can tell you that my sister at age 50 used her egg for procedure. That's what they told that person. I do not believe. Anything from 37, please, if you have a good ovarian reserve and your LH and FSH is normal, it means you preserve your egg. But that egg you preserve, in my own opinion, is for if you want to do natural conception. But if it is for IVF, what your body will bring out, the follicles that your body will bring, that your ovary will bring out when you undergo ovarian stimulation, nobody will be able to tell you. So that you won't find out that somebody somewhere said if you have a good AMH, LH and FSH, you can use your egg for IVF. And when they now give you ovarian stimulation, the embryologist now start saying you have 2 follicles, you have 3 follicles, you have 4 follicles. What does that mean? Follicles do not translate to egg. It is when they are sprayed down follicle that they will know whether there's egg inside follicle or not. In my own opinion, if your age is above 37 years, you have reached above 37 years and you want to do IVF up to 40, 41, please, if you want to use your egg, get a donor backup, because in some center, if they place on ovarian stimulation and there is no follicles in you, the procedure will be cancelled. And if you do not add a donor backup to your process, that means you will not get any refund. That is the end of that procedure. Number 5, if your age is above 40, even if your LH and FSH and AMH is normal, I'm begging you, if you are going to use your egg for IVF procedure, please know that you are taking a risk. The risk means you may not have enough egg, you may not have enough follicle, and enough egg may not be there. And there's tendency that when they give you ovarian stimulation, you may not have follicles. But even if you ask them to double the injections, maybe give you more than what you require because you want, let me tell you, the follicle could be empty. Whereby they tell you that, see, 3 or 4 follicles, by the time they aspirate them, nothing will be inside them. I want to advise, if any woman want to do IVF procedure and you need to use your egg at any age above 40, please get a donor backup. If you don't want a donor backup at all, you don't want to use donor egg, please know fully well that the procedure you are doing, you are on a risk, because they may not see egg in your follicle, or you produce few eggs, which like 2 or 3, and at the end of the day, how many good embryos they want to bring out. If you are using your egg at age 40 know fully well that there's something we call abnormal chromosome in a layman language. At that age, the chromosome in your body go are very old, and some of them have become abnormal. If you insist that you want to use your egg to do IVF at any age above 40, you must do what we call a pre-implantation testing to know that those embryos, they do not have abnormal chromosome before they transfer them. Because if you are using your egg to do IVF above 80, the baby that may come out of that procedure, if you do not do a pre-implantation genetic testing, the baby may come out to be abnormal. You've seen people that use their egg at age 40 for IVF and their baby are fine. But the chances of having the possibility of having a baby that will have abnormal chromosome and that one will have a bad features, how do I put it, that the baby will not be normal, the possibility is there. So when you are saying, I want to use my egg, please know that you are on a risk, a very high risk. It's either you do not have good number of eggs to bring out, good number of eggs to be used for IVF, or you may have abnormal baby. Number 6, if you do AMH and you want to use your egg for IVF and your AMH is above 3.5, there's tendency that you have PCOS. So if they give you ovarian stimulation, the quality of the egg you may bring out may be low for you to have a good embryos. So it's better you treat yourself so that your LH and FSH will fall between 4 and 10 milli international units per liter, or your AMH is between 1 and 3.5. If you have PCOS and you insist that you want to use your egg, there's a problem that we call OHSS, ovarian hyperstimulation syndrome. It's a life-threatening issue, and every professional run away from this problem. So if you say, no, it stimulate me, I'm very young, I want my, know very well that you could have that problem, and it's a life-threatening problem. Although if issue comes, some professional knows how to handle it. But the problem is, if you develop OHSS and there's a complication, your embryo may not be transferred as at the time they're supposed to transfer it. So if you have been treating PCOS for a long period, and because you are not getting pregnant and you want to do IVF, know fully well that you might not use your egg, or the egg you may produce even after ovarian stimulation may not be good. The number may not be good enough for you to have multiple embryos being created. 7, if you must do IVF, know that IVF is not final. It's not a final solution to infertility, because the way IVF could fail in anybody. It could fail in a younger woman, could fail in the older woman. So the issue like, I borrow money, I gather money, and I sell property, I thought it would be positive. No. In IVF, if you do not address your emotions, don't come close. If you are afraid of failure, don't come close. If you know that when the result is not in your desire, you will start blaming the professionals that do the procedure, please don't come close. Number 8, if you want to do IVF and it's because you are AS and your husband is treating you, if you call number 8, if couples are AS and they want to do IVF because they don't want their baby to have the sickle cell trait, then they have 2 options. It's either the wife will use a donor egg so that you will not use her egg to save them from SS, or they do IVF and plan to do a pre-implantation genetic testing whereby all the embryos will be tested to know whether there is no any one of those embryos they want to transfer that have sickle cell trait. This may cost them a lot of money, so they will know that the love between two of them is a love of money. Number 9, if you want to do IVF, what is the time now? 6, okay. Number 9, if you want to do IVF and your husband has a low sperm count and the professional is suggesting that you should do ICSI, intracytoplasmic injection, fine, it is okay. But irrespective of the low sperm count or low motility, a professional wanted to do IVF stroke ICSI for your husband, tell your husband or you men you're supposed to be on fertility supplement, because there's something we call morphology. Morphology of any sperm cells is the ability of that sperm cells, or does that sperm cells has what it takes to initiate pregnancy. So if you are using ICSI to do IVF, please, the man must be on supplement so that the few sperm cells they will select, the few sperm cells they will select to do the IVF will be very good to make baby. Number 10, when you do IVF, you must know that your body, your womb, determine the final stages of IVF. Professionals will create a good embryos, grade A, grade 1 of best grade, until that embryos get to your womb. That is when we will know that is when we are going to know what is going to happen to the embryo. There's something we call endometrial receptivity, ability of a womb of any woman to support embryo, to support implantation. Until embryo gets to that womb, nobody can tell you how the embryo will behave inside any woman's body. You might have done a lot of tests, immunological tests, to know that there won't be any reaction if the embryo is being transferred to a woman's body. But as embryo has not been transferred, there is no way a professional will know what happened to that embryo. So have it at the back of your mind that you need to take supplement to improve the quality of your womb, to improve the receptivity of your womb, so that when embryo is being transferred to your womb will support it. God will help us. You see all these things, think about it. If you have questions about this thing, drop it at the comment section. I promise you, I will pick them and explain them in upcoming videos. God will help us. My name is Wojo Adekende Samuel. I'm a practicing fertility scientist, a brand ambassador for Fertility. Till I come your way next time. God is good. Bye.